Welcome back to WatchAdvisor on YouTube. It's Alexander speaking, your host, and on your screen you see the GLASHÜTTE Original PanoMaticCalendar.
Don't forget to subscribe and to hit the bell to get our latest notifications.
So if you're asking yourself, why have I been pronouncing calendar the way I have been doing it, is because what you see, in fact, on your screen is an annual calendar, clearly visible through the month indication here, the sector of the dial that has been opened showing 8, the August, showing August, that's the month we are actually in. But still, GLASHÜTTE Original calls the watch calendar, but it is an annual calendar. And even if we, I will point out here on top, you can see it is written PanoMaticCalendar. Where is the annual, my friends? I'm missing the word annual here, since yes, we're talking about an annual calendar. But yeah, for reasons I am not aware of, GLASHÜTTE Original tends or wants to call the watch just calendar. The first thing I have to do in the video is to apologize. I will in fact have to film this watch without wearing gloves. I never do this since I think it's looking better with gloves, but I was not able to find any setting with the camera so I could operate it and the lighting wouldn't change the way it did. So once my hands with the gloves on came into the picture, the color of the dial it is a galvanized silver dial, you see. The surface is opaline fine matte, but wearing black gloves would have changed it immediately to a bright white dial. The camera, I tried several settings, was unfortunately not enough to handle this little difference. So I took off the gloves and here's the solution. So please forgive me, I will do this video without gloves. So let me start. So this is an 18 karat red gold case with a diameter of 42 millimeter. The thickness of the case, 12.4 millimeter, and the so-called lug to lug distance. That's the distance I always measure from one lug end to the other lug end is 49 millimeter. And also to make it clear, this is a plastic pointer, comes from the Swiss manufacturer Bergeon. It is a supplier of the Swiss watch industry, and this pointer is made out of plastic. And the purpose of selling such a pointer is that people like me can show details on a watch without scratching it. So this pointer will not scratch the watch. What kind of indications the PanoMaticCalendar has is mostly clear if you take just a few seconds to discover the dial. We do have the running seconds. We do have a off-centered central dial, off-centered central dial with the hours and the minutes. We do have a moon phase. We do have the so-called Panorama Date with a big date indication, and we do have a retrograde jumping month indication on the sector from, let's say, 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock. You see indicated 8. This is August. Yes, that's the month we're in actually. And I have been setting it to virtually 08. 8, the moon phase, please, is not correct. So if you are a nerd and you are going to explain me then, yes, Alexander, but the 8th of August, the moon was different. It is almost, it is getting full moon soon. So I've been just setting it to any, yeah, it's not correct, just to mention this. But here is the month indication from 1 to 12, and it is linked to the date, of course. So you have an annual calendar, and what does an annual calendar do? It will properly, correctly show you all lengths of the months until end of February. End of February, you will have to make a correction yourself because the watch mechanism is not being programmed to know if it is a leap year or not. So this information is not programmed, and you will have to do this little correction from the 28th to the 1st or 29th to the 1st yourself. I love GLASHÜTTE Original for their approach to every time when they do something new, to keep it simple. They don't try to complicate things. They keep it simple. And yes, so happened or so done also with the PanoMaticCalendar, annual calendar, I have to say. By the way, it is waterproof up to 5 bar, 50 meters, so not bad at all, much better than 3 bar. And you have a crown, not a screw down crown, a push, to push it in. Then you go in the first position. The first position would be already, as you see, the changing position of the months. You see, I'm turning here in one direction. Now we have reached December, now January, etc., February, March, and so on. I will go back to the 8th. And guess what? If I turn in the other direction, yes, you can see I'm moving the Panorama Date, and I will quickly run you through the numbers so you can see how these numbers are combined, look like on the dial. Now 20, and I will quickly go to the 30th. And now I have to stop to show you two things. The 31st, of course, because August is a month that has 31 days. So what will happen next is you will see that we are changing to the 1st of September. So the 8th will move on to the 9th. The 1st, the disk here will stay, and the 3 will be replaced by a 0, and this will make the 1st September. Watch. There you go. So, correctly done. You saw the move. 01 September. Very easy, and yep, I could show you also September if you want. Let me challenge the PanoMaticCalendar annual calendar. I've been setting it to the 30th of September. 30th of September. The next thing the watch will display is the 1st October. But we will do this manually by advancing the hands until midnight, and then we will together discover what will happen when the Panorama Date is moved from the 30th to the 1st, and here we see the move from the 9th to the 10th month. So watch closely. It's 9 o'clock in the evening. 31st. And the 1st. Yes, it had to do this because it needed first to switch from 0 to 1. Then the 1 did not move anymore, but the 3 was exchanged by 0, and then combined it made 0, 1, and it is the 1st of October. This is how it looks like when a date change is done on your wrist when you're wearing the watch in a month where the month is only 30 days long. Let me also show you that the watch does not have any information about the length of February. We see 2 for February. We see the 28th. And I've been manually advancing the hands already to quarter to 10 o'clock p.m. or 21:46 if you want, and I will continue to advance, and you will see that the watch, since it does not know anything to do better than this could be right. In the case of a leap year, it would advance until the 29th. But if we quickly continue to run through here, we will see it's noon now, and we are again approaching, yes, midnight. You see that the watch has no information because it will now change to the 30th instead to the 1st. Yeah, you see. This is something you have to do manually. Once a year you will have to take your watch, you have to take the GLASHÜTTE Original and all the other annual calendars, because this is, Nomen est Omen. It is an annual, another perpetual calendar, and you will have to do this slight adjustment. This, it's no big deal, it's no rocket science. Pull out the crown, forward, backward, easily done. PanoMaticCalendar. Annual calendar. I don't get the point here. Why did they name it calendar and not annual calendar? Was the word too long for them or too complicated? I don't know. It is an annual calendar. Okay, I am back to show you how you set the moon phase. That's easy. You need a pointer, something like this, that cannot scratch any watch. Plastic. And you have a little push piece being integrated here at 2 o'clock. You see it here? I cannot scratch the watch, don't worry. And yes, what you do, you can adjust the moon phase by pressing, and the moon will advance day by day. Once it disappears, here, the second disk, the second moon phase printed on the disk will appear. So you see new moon now, and so on, and then you can easily adjust with a reference the moon phase. This is how the annual calendar looks like in darkness, and yup, readability of time is there, but of course, that's not comparable to any of the divers or other watches that have prominently applied superluminova on the hands and indexes. It's more, you can read time, but yes, it's okay. This is the Calibre 92-09, a newly developed Calibre for displaying this annual calendar. And the watch is not named annual calendar. Guys, I can't stop joking about it, since this is really something I don't understand. Why do they not call it annual calendar? I generally tend to say everything that is written on a dial shouldn't be there, because too much is too much. And many of the brands really tend to write thousands of things on their dials. But if you do, why don't annual calendar? Okay, maybe someone will answer my question. Okay, but what you see is the Calibre 92-09. It is an automatic Calibre with an off-center rotor. This is the rotor. With a 21 karat gold oscillating weight. And what you have here is a so-called 3/4 plate with a stripe finish. This is the 3/4 plate. Why is it called 3/4 plate? Because it is covering the entire movement or the entire parts. 3/4 of the parts are covered. Yep, this is why it is called 3/4. So you have a balance bridge that is engraved by hand, gold-colored engraved text. You have that skeletonized rotor I was talking before already, with the double G, the logo of GLASHÜTTE Original. You have a regulator-free fine adjustment with 2 swan next springs. There you go. Here are the swan next springs. The screws are polished and blued. The steel parts are polished, of course, and the edges are beveled. What else would you expect from GLASHÜTTE Original? And this is an absolutely luxury finish, and nothing wrong here, to be honest. That's really, really cool, and something you probably will want to discover more often by playing around in the light as I do right now. letting the light come from different angles, let the light produce different reflections, of course, and so on. The sapphire crystal of the case back, it has only an anti-reflective treatment on the inner side. This is why we do have these reflections. But it is as it is. Now nicely to see the double G logo of the off-centered rotor. Yeah, a beautiful caliber, I have to say. And it features 100 hours of power reserve. The balance wheel is oscillating at 4 Hz or 28,800 semi-oscillations. What else can we discover on the case back? The name of the company, GLASHÜTTE Original. Then you have here the different hallmarks, since this is an 18 karat red gold case. And you have a serial number being engraved. That's what you get. And yeah. Oh, we haven't seen it by this way. Let's put it this way for a moment. Nice view, very nice view on the new 92-09 Calibre by GLASHÜTTE Original. And I assume some of you will probably want to wear the watch the other way around instead of looking on that galvanized silver opaline dial. The PanoMaticCalendar comes with, as written here, a top Louisiana alligator strap. The texture on the outside looks nice, perfectly matches, perfectly combines with the opaline silver dial, the red gold case, etc. And one question that will come for sure from your side is, do I have to wear it with a pin buckle? You may if you wish, but you don't have to. As an alternative to the pin buckle you see on your screen right now, the watch can be bought with a folding clasp, and yeah, there's a slightly price difference, of course, since this is made out of gold, the pin buckle and the folding clasp both are made out of gold, and there's a slightly price difference. The price will be mentioned at the end of that video, of course. So if you are still watching, don't stop right now. When the pin buckle is completely closed and put to the appropriate length, you insert it in one of the holes on the strap, the pin here, then it looks like this. And you see you have two loops. One is fixed, the first one, and the second one moves, so you can perfectly fix the end. And yeah. I personally would wear it with a pin buckle because I'm a big fan of those. Why? Because on the inner side with these folding clasps, there's always too much pressure coming on my wrist. And I really like this smooth way of just wearing a watch in a traditional way with a pin buckle. Nothing wrong with it, I would say. Is the Louisiana alligator nubuck leather strap tapering? Yes, it is. We are measuring, or I have been measuring 21 in between the lugs and 18. So 21 to 18 here in the pin buckle. That's the last information I have for you concerning this annual calendar. I still don't get the point. Why? Look. I want to point out this. I quickly want to point out. Here, we have prominently written PanoMaticCalendar at 12 o'clock. First of all, I'm questioning, why do they write anything here? Wouldn't it just have been nicer to have nothing? It's maybe, yeah, because we have the word made in Germany here, that there is a kind of a counter weight in design, or yeah, you have something here, nothing here. But is it really necessary to write anything on these dials to indicate what you are wearing? Anyhow, nobody will be able to read it, and yeah, I'm not a fan of those different indications. It's not only a case here of GLASHÜTTE Original, I in general don't like it. Okay, but if you do, why not then adding the word annual? There's space enough. Look, wait, let me just put the word. There's space enough. You could have added you could have written even more. GLASHÜTTE Original, made in Germany, done with love by hand. Okay, plenty of things you could have added here. And you just have PanoMaticCalendar? Okay, we will never find out. The annual calendar comes as you see it, as I showed it to you in this video, with the pin buckle, is sold for 27,900 euro, including 20% VAT here in Austria. So if you want to have the net price, please deduct 16.666%. And if you are interested to buy the watch with a folding clasp, then it will be sold for 30,200 euro as well, including 20% VAT here in Austria. So my last question. Do you like the watch? What do you think? Is it useful complication? Do you like the way how they did it, etc.? Just talk with me. Write your comments and talk with me. Let me know what you think, and I'll be more than happy to read all your comments and, of course, to answer your questions if you have some. And if the questions are difficult, I will pass them to GLASHÜTTE Original, of course. Thanks for watching once again one of our videos. It was a pleasure presenting me this PanoMaticCalendar to you. Let me repeat it one last time. It was a running gag through the entire video, so I have to do it a last time. Why did they not call it annual calendar? Bye-bye.